Yep.
Live, you say?
I think we're live. Yes, live. Live and awesome.
Welcome to the internet, Stuart. Welcome to the internet.
Indeed.
Have you missed it?
No.
Excellent. Well, it's missed you. Yesterday, Raj was like, "Hello, community and Stuart and Samuel," and I'm like, "There's no Stuart." He's like, and he just rewrote it. "Hello, community and Samuel." I was like, "Oh, thanks, man." That amused me.
Amusement.
What we're doing today? Question mark? Question mark? Exclamation mark? Question mark?
We are taking viewer submissions for ships, Star Trek ships, and we're going to rank them. And yes, I know Dan's going to pop in and say, we've done this before. And yes, we did in April. But we're doing it again because new people,
Clarify,
you
April of
know,
last year.
last year.
Yes, it's been like 17 months. I think that's okay.
Sure. Yeah.
You know,
Great.
we like to have the conversations. And it's been a while.
And it's all up to you guys. You can either super
Mm.
chat in or PayPal in and let us know, and we will rank them
Hmm.
as we see fit. And you guys get to participate as well. And you can change our rankings if you so choose.
Yeah, classic fare.
Ah.
But as ever, the power is in your hands. And since last time we did this particular format, we've done all of the individual shows ranked, which does create its own unique context. But then when you're back to the everything, and we gave multiple things a bit too high if you're just going with universe based.
Mhm.
I think 40 has a lot of stuff preloaded.
Number 40.
That'll save a little bit of time.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, I will get showing. Although I will say, as we said before, on the top, as previously, it's been very successful so far. PayPal 2 for 1. So if you want 2, put in a 5 on PayPal. If you want 4, 10, etc., etc. Because we get more support, which means your support goes further, which is more therefore epic. And you get 2 because we are here to rank and talk about things, right? That is the point. So absolutely, and it should be a lot of fun. So yeah, PayPal if you can. As ever, we control, you control where it goes.
You control us
Yeah, pretty much.
if you so choose.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna start showing. See you in a second.
All right. Go away. Go away now. Hi guys. Hit that like button. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell icon to all so you don't miss any content from us, whether it be lives like this where you get to hang out with us or join us for the edited content and just super thanks on those. But just a thumbs up, a likes. If you want to super chat in, you will get uh, your ship, $5 for a ship. You can double that up if you go through PayPal. Send us $5 PayPal. You can select 2 ships. It's just a better way to get more bang for your buck for you guys. And also, PayPal helps us out immensely because we get more of the money because YouTube takes 30% right off the top. I know it's shitty, but it's true. Also, make sure you hit the notification bell icon so you don't miss any of the content and join us. There's a join button down there on YouTube. You can join the channel or head on over to Patreon/Trekyards where you can support us on a monthly basis over there. Also, it all helps out immensely, and we have a lot of people that help us out, and we appreciate all of them. So if you want to be part of that, please do so. Uh, do not forget there are links down below in the description of every video to our Teespring and our TeePublic store. So if you want to get yourself some cool Trekyards merch or just other stuff as well, it's all there for the taking or for the looking at least. Click the links and just clicking the link and helping us helps us out immensely. So do that as well. But most important thing, easiest thing, freest thing, fastest thing, hit that like button. We have 4 likes right now, 16 people here, and it's going to be fun to get into this. Raj says, how was the event you went to? I didn't go to an event. I just could not do a live. It's all you need to know. But it was a good day, so it's fine. But yeah, thank you for joining us, guys. Can we please take the crossfield class off the list? We all know it doesn't belong on the list. It's not on the list. It's only on if you guys put it on. And we need Fs for the, to fill up the board. So yeah, so if you want to have an F, throw in a crossfield class.
And just as we've done before, totally happy to include concept art. So if you've got, ironically, you can like quote a Trekyards episode from years past and say, that concept art. It's like, yep, totally can, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the variety.
Anything and everything, if it's Star Trek, can be on this list. Enemy ships, or alien ships, Federation ships, whatever. Do your thing. 18 of you here and 8 likes, guys. Hit that like button. Let's get up to 15.
All right, I'm going to start a poll as well.
He's going to give you a poll.
Nope, just going to set a poll.
Okay. Dan Ben says, I think I get it. I get it. We send our favorites and you rank them at if they're the best. Yeah, well, you send us any ship and we will discuss it and rank it. And if you don't agree with our final slot, you can change it up or down 1 tier with a $5 super chat as well. So that's the way it's always been. So I don't know why it's a surprise. But yeah. Raj says, for some reason I was thinking, oh, no, did not. Mateo, but will the Starfleet school in Starfleet be considered a starship? Yes, the Athena. Yeah, absolutely. Nice to get a good picture of it, but yes. All right. So once the poll gets up, go vote in it, guys. That is not what I thought it was. Okay.
And Dan, if you want to put less than 5, do it on the PayPal because then that'll count. We'll do that one because you're you, but yeah. Do the PayPal and therefore lower can be years.
Yeah. We'll start out with Dan's then, the Akira class.
And that's the enhanced version. Of course, the ILM one movie is much less detailed, and that's okay. I always thought Fabio's one was a bit heavy-handed with the plating, but because, it's designed to be 3D printed, so like the TOS Connie, right? It's flat unless you paint it not flat. Akira would be flat unless you give it some life. Akira, thoughts, vibes, feelings.
The Wonder Child. What? You can go first.
Yes.
I think Akira's cool.
It's great. It is a classic. It's funny how in the olden days that felt like one of the big weird ones, and then we got everything else. But it's still quite weird, having sort of refit-esque nacelles, but not a more Connie curved saucer. Obviously, we're used to the Sovereign and the D being not having unnecessarily lack of space, but all kind of comes together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Obviously, it influenced the NX, so a lot of legacy. Kind of invented its own grandson, great granddad. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. It's got a lot of Reliant-esque things going on.
Yeah. Yep.
And I do like the unique nacelles. They're not just, like the Enterprise Ds or the Sovereigns. They're their own thing, which is interesting. I go back and forth on whether I like these nacelles or not, but they definitely fit the ship. So, I do love the carryover from the Reliant of the torpedo tube or pod, I guess. And it's a sleek, fast-looking ship. Powerful as hell. I love the rotary turret as well. That's a nice extra feature.
In some versions, yes, if you pay close attention, yeah. Which we found, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I just realised. Might not be. Hold on. Just realised I skipped talk to you. As far as it's actually on.
You skipped what?
I started talking to you, so I forgot to actually put on slides.
Oh. Well, that's no good.
We only did one. It's fine. Akira. Yes.
All right.
The only thing I'll say about some of its choices I don't love. I know, since it was never fleshed out, the front bit being that of being a shuttle bay in, never liked that particularly. Just don't
Hmm.
really. I don't love the random plating in front of the bridge. I know it's just panel lines the original, but it's imbalanced compared to like the refit or the Excelsior. Or that's a bit more intent. This feels a bit more random, as if the guy just coloured in some, like someone did something back in the day and everyone else has copied it and tried to make it make more sense. But I just don't like some of those details quite as much. But again, they're extrapolated on a low res model. If I was given the keys to do a proper fan film hero up res, I would rethink a few things to kind of give it that hero treatment. Wouldn't necessarily change, but I would, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'd change anything. I like the idea of the shuttle bay on the front because it's something new and interesting with the deflector on the bottom the way it is. I think it's kind of an interesting idea,
Yeah.
but yeah, I can see why you might not like that so much. The pontoons are unique. You could definitely do more stuff with the pontoons, like have even some smaller shuttle bays in there at the side or
See,
something.
that makes more sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer that idea.
But overall, I mean, it's a very sexy, cool looking ship, so cannot really complain. It's a good addition to the fleet.
Uh, it just could be better. I don't know. It doesn't dip into that top tier for me.
Hmm. Well,
It depends. Are we going knowing we're going to move things, or are we going with our gut reaction? Because if we know we're going to be able to move things, I'll go higher. And if we're not, then I'll go lower.
we can always move things. It's yeah,
Okay, let's say it on three. Okay, so one, two,
yeah,
three, go.
yeah.
1, 2, 3, go. B.
Hey,
Okay.
oh, you
So
don't
what?
say go. You just do one, two, three, and then you say the thing.
Fair enough. Because A, if we can move it, but I think it's more of a B. I think they'll be notably better in A's and S's. I don't think it'll stand up compared to the A's when we get in the A's.
Well, we'll see. We will have
Observe.
to see.
That's why I clarified. I mean, hey, in fairness, no one might put any super amazing ones. As in, that might be the top tier. In which case, it will be one of the best, right?
Yes, Raj says, I wonder if the Akira class can land on planets. It looks like it can. It's a little big
Hmm.
for that, I think. I wouldn't necessarily think that it would. And with
Huh.
the way that the engines are mounted, I'm not convinced necessarily. I think you'd have to like you'd be landing on the nacelles very likely because they
Hmm.
they do go lower than the saucer line if I remembering correctly.
I mean,
But yeah,
I would guess most of the ships can land if you really want them to, if you know what I mean.
yeah, yeah,
It's
you
sort
could
of
make anything work for that.
you just gotta carefully design around some other stuff. All right, I've got the next one if you're ready to go.
Oh yes, absolutely. So the next one is from Mark Lawrence with $5.
I know
Let's
that guy.
start weird.
Mm.
Burling off Rasmussen's stolen future shuttle. That's a mouthful.
And you get a behind the scenes picture 'cause it's the clearest we have.
Yeah, there's not good ones. I was looking myself.
Yes, but we all know it. It's the thing that has silver things on it.
And very geometried up. It's an odd choice, I think, to do this, but it's supposed to be a future shuttle, so it makes perfect sense that it's going to look different, right?
And that's the thing. Is the idea of a shuttle even valid for this thing? As in, obviously you're retroactively doing the canon, but the time pod they mean Enterprise has a little hatchway you go down. I would be very happy to say there's like a little door in this, the open, and there's a corridor. It's silly in that regard, but also if this is a time pod and that's just the command, it's kind of like the TARDIS, right? The TARDIS is you walk into the command room and you can walk
Yeah.
into any other room. So that I'd be fine with because otherwise I would vibe it more as an escape pod because shuttle I would think it would do more for being that future. So escape pod, fine. It's just there to travel. If there was anything
Well,
past that, I would do more.
I wouldn't say shuttle. I'd say it's time machine. Like it's specifically built. I like the idea of having a larger interior though, and just yeah, that's kind of interesting TARDIS effect going on. I'd be down for that actually, but yeah, I think it's specifically built to be a time machine. It's not a time shuttle, and it comes from a time ship that launched from a time starbase. You know what I mean? Like purpose built, and I'm fine with that. I do like the interior of this as well. It's got quite an interesting interior, which they reused multiple times and changed it. But um, and the fact there's no like view, like window or anything in it, it's very unique, and it's supposed to be. It's supposed to look different than anything we've seen. So no, it's a good design.
And that's interesting because I mean, we've talked about the ship here and there, and you know, I guess in my brain it was a time agent ship that we knew from like some sort of Starfleet thing. But you think it was actually a civilian craft, etc., etc. Because I don't necessarily thought that ever, but that's where you put your $2 in if you're saying it's a civilian craft.
Oh, I wasn't saying a civilian necessarily. It could be military or whatever, designed specifically for a purpose. It's not got a lot of room. You can't transport a lot of troops in it, but it could just be literally Doc Brown's from the future. Some crazy, wacky scientist invented this thing. It's got to get up to 88 light years per hour. Um, I don't know. It's got angular things like the DeLorean does. The vents on the back and stuff of the DeLorean are similar to. I don't know if that's the vibe they were going for, but it's cool nonetheless.
I mean, there's going to be. Gosh, can you imagine if this was? And we're backdating canon a little bit, but if this is the original temporal Cold War guy who was the first one to develop time travel, he made this. Rasmussen really messed him up, and because this guy's tech fell into the wrong hands, it developed time travel across the galaxy. It's like this one guy was one shiny thing, changed everything.
Mm-hmm.
And this is actually this isn't what we're looking at now. Isn't that the entire set, as in like as an interior exterior? So the physical interior is inside that, I believe.
How would you get a camera in the front? You'd have to
Well, no, you
be
walk
able to
in. You just
swing the front out.
no,
Well,
you just
those
film.
cameras were pretty big.
Yeah, but you could get smaller ones. I mean, there are cinema cameras 35mm that could do it. I mean, there were smaller cameras, of course. They're just more expensive.
Even back then in
Yeah, yeah,
TV.
yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, they were specific for you need to do small things that have other limitations, right? Because it's not as if
Maybe
in the Type 6 they didn't if you're shooting a Type 6, they're not cutting out one wall to shoot. They're just using the camera that fits the small set.
okay.
And then they just take off these plate layers, and it becomes just the work. Because I would assume that the last ship it was is what's on the outside, and then this is just covering it. Or I wonder if this was actually the first time it was built. They needed a genuine spacecraft, and then it was backtracked over.
Hmm. It's a good question. I think this is the first time we saw that interior, though. And then
Yeah,
we saw the interior show up in different shows and stuff after that. So,
but never with the same sparkly paint.
no, it's got like a holographic vibe going on.
Hmm. Literally with the
Um,
attack. This is
it's
tricky because it's not really a ship, but also I know we both quite like it. So.
it's definitely unique.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, for ranking this, that's another tough one. Do you want to do the count of three thing again?
No, it's okay.
Okay. Um, Jeez. I kind of want to say C for its uniqueness. In fact, we never see it again. And we talked about this before. I would love to hear the backstory. I want to know
Mm-hmm.
who he stole it from, what they were using it for, whether it was for archaeology or for nefarious purposes,
Oh,
or
can you imagine if they retconned this to be Ransom, and that was the other time he got messed up, like trying to get back to Earth. He developed a time travel machine in 1997, and then got messed up and then back again. 3 versions of him just to get Blade to the Future again. Stupid.
yeah, I'm gonna say C,
Yeah,
but
I was gonna say C as well, but which sounds of course a bit silly, but it just works in its own way. And the interior is quite charming, right? It's like if you like Tin Man, it's because in a similar vein, right? The what it's going for is so unique that you can like it because of it, even if it's not necessarily everyone's cup of tea. So yeah, I quite like it. So I think C is fair.
Cool. And again, these might be shuffled around later, but we will see
Pretty
how
much.
it goes.
As you guys submit weird ones or not, the stuff's gonna come up.
Yes.
Oh, Cosmos has got a Star Trek Fleet Command advert. Excellent. I guess we're sponsored by Fleet Command for those 3 seconds. Superb. But yeah, guys, as it says, get 2 for 1. So if you want to put in for a ship to be ranked, use a PayPal, you get 2 for whatever you put in. So it'll double or super chat right now. And the poll, Stuart, though, I asked the question. Overall, do you watch Trek for the Starfleet ships or for the alien ships? I mean, we are for both. But
yeah, if I had to pick, it would be Starfleet ships for sure.
if you had to pick, and 91%, even though, of course, there are way more Starfleet ships than alien, so you are sort of limiting yourself a little bit. That's okay. But speaking of limiting, let's not limit ourselves to the designs of the past. Let's go Fleet Carrier, which I'm still so proud that Star Trek Online brought back. Because this is always one of those ones where I kept thinking, oh, I'll totally get this built at some point. I'll use the original sketches from Star Trek Invasion because they were released. Excellent. And luckily, the universe worked around me and released it instead. And I don't know how the hell I'd ever use it for anything because it's so weirdly specific. But do you all want me to see it? Do you want to see me use it in a fan film? Because I like it. It's got charm. Stuart, your thoughts on the Invasion Carrier, the Typhoon?
Typhoon class, yes. This is one of the earliest videos we did. Earlier anyway. And it's such a unique standout ship. It doesn't feel like anything Starfleet. The only thing that says Starfleet is the color scheme and the nacelles. But I love that there's a carrier vibe. And even in STO where it transforms basically, like gets all, I'm not even sure what it does necessarily, but it is quite a
Fortress mode, if
unique,
I recall.
yeah, something like that. It's almost like if Starfleet did something like Battlestar Galactica. That's kind of what this would be. And it's unique, it's interesting, it's got a specific purpose, which speaks to why it's designed the way it is, which I love. Functionality and design. So it also looks like a bit of a beast. It's not super large though, but it does look tanky.
Well, if you recall from the game, it like dips into the E. Actually connects. That's because the E can go faster, of course. So E
Yeah,
brings it into combat, which is
yeah,
rather small. But if the fighters are small and that's small, and all it
exactly.
does
Yeah,
is launch the fighters. And I honestly, I
yeah,
would rather a smaller one be more maneuverable or I wouldn't want a giant glass cannon, right? I'd probably go for I'd probably rather commission 10 of these that only do fighters than 3 that are also fully armed battleships, if that makes sense. Because then you can send more in, you can
yeah,
move them quicker. That's how I'd do it.
yeah, yeah. And to have like a swarm of little fighters doing their thing. I mean, this is something that you get what you pay for. You get your money's worth out of this thing for sure, because you put it on target, and yeah, you got a bunch of small ships that can be swatted away pretty easily with Star Trek weapons. But that's fine. It's all good. No, I really like the Typhoon class. It's something that came out, and I remember when it first came out, I was like, that's really interesting because it doesn't look like a Starfleet design. It doesn't have a saucer, it doesn't have the typical secondary hull. It's just basically a large brick, but it's a sexy looking large brick. Let's be honest. So yeah, I like it.
And it's also a testament to the 90s or ISO 2000s, where it's how can we keep the aesthetic, which is the checklist, right? Now this is the Star Trek Online version in higher detail raised, cool. But but as long as it has warp engines, basards, warp coils, phaser strips, torpedo launchers, RCS thrusters, pennants, the checklist is there, just then move to a unique style and shape. Because you don't need a
Yeah.
saucer to be a Federation ship. Look at the the Cleo berth or the there are ships are not saucers per se. So that is not a rule, it's a style choice. So as long as we take the technical, the fundamental construction elements over, that should do the thing, meaning warp weapons. It's a good testament to what can you do if you're... Yeah. I like it, it's good. I mean, if it didn't have a function, as in if that was the ship and it was just a normal Starfleet ship, it'd be worse for me. But because it feels form follows function, that jumps up the points for me quite significantly.
Absolutely, yeah. And again, I like its uniqueness. So for me, I'd probably put this one at a B.
Yeah, I would say a B dependent.
Yes, on what comes next.
But
Or later.
it's definitely a ship I quite like. And I would like to see it used somewhere by me. We've got it, it's ready to go. But it's, as I said, quite specific.
It's Pacific. I mean specific.
It's
I mean,
Pacific
what?
Standard Time. Yes.
Perfect.
What a
Yeah, that's a
weird
good
three,
one.
Stuart. What a weird three.
Yeah, it's a good way to start out.
But let's get weirder.
Oh, good God.
Well,
Oh, the
no.
Hussuk ship.
Yeah. But else, if you would.
Yes. Tab extra 20 krona. Husnak ship. D. Too simple. Um, I don't know. I always liked the design of this. I think it looks super aggressive, and it does feel a little Star Warsy now that I'm actually really looking at it. With that top section with all the windows there, it feels kind of like a Star Destroyer type vibe, and the shapes definitely say more Star Wars, but it is an alien ship, so that's fine to me. The pointy elements on the bottom and the sides, again, like I said, speak very aggressive, and I think it's an interesting opponent ship, and I wish it would have been used more because it's a cool design. I don't even think I did Eagle Moss make this one? They must have.
Yeah.
I don't think I have it though, because I would love to have this one in my collection.
It's definitely a later stage one when they,
Was it?
running out of
Yeah,
things. But they had to build. That's why they had to build the first one, the freighter, to then kit bash again and again. Obviously, then it became much cheaper, more efficient to make the rest. But
yeah.
they had to make the first one first, to then do all the things, which is great. They had to reverse engineer as they went, which is rather charming.
Wasn't it originally black though? Or am I thinking
Yeah.
of the Shellyak? Shellyax, I think, is
Mm,
black.
I guess the Star Trek Online render.
Yeah,
What is it? Suck?
the Husnuk. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the black one. This one's being lit very bright.
Yeah, like I prefer it in the darker, but I mean it's hard to see
Oh
against
wait,
this.
oh wait, hold on.
Pretty sure the Shellyak
Did
one
the
is the black one.
ah hmm
I'm gonna check something out here.
yeah, it's just meant to be black.
Oh no, the Shellyak ship is not that. Shellyak ship's just the merchant man.
Yeah. Well,
Shellyak colony ship.
you
Well,
know.
shit. I like this one though,
hmm
so it's fine.
It's got a charm. The fact they stripped it down so far at the front is actually kind of work. Because if you remember, and I'll bring it back up, or up, the classic form, and this is what testament to their team. Same basic concepts. I mean, this is the original freighter that, well, that style is what everything's based on, right? And all the greeblies and panel
Oh, yeah,
lines.
yeah. Yeah.
But they modify them to be stuff like this. It's like it's all the same core. This one is one of those that feels truly different. And if you remember the show, it's big. So in theory, this thing, if we ever met the race when they were pre-genocide,
Yeah.
it could be quite menacing. But we don't. I
For me, I'm not.
have to go straight for a C because I think it's got just as the time ship has the charm of being simple but effective. I guess it's similar, simple but effective.
Yes, I agree. I was going to say C as well. So,
Beautiful.
yeah.
All right, we have our first PayPal 2-for-1 from our
Oh,
favorite
gooey.
person. Can you
Classic
guess?
for real?
And can you guess what he put in for?
Oh, good God. It's got to be Star Trek, so if it's not, he
It
doesn't.
is.
Oh, the Rainforest ship.
Without any hints, Stuart, he got the person and the ship. We salute you for your consistency.
I think our favorite person was a hint, even though that could have been Mark Lawrence.
Yeah. Rainforest ship once again. But in fact, Classic, I'm going to be funny on this because you're being funny. We're not going to look at the Rainforest ship. We're going to look at the AI-generated Rainforest ship variant that we made
Jesus
custom.
Christ.
Then we're going to review the Rainforest Farscape Peacekeeper Command Carrier.
I mean, people tuning in later are going to go, what the fuck was that? Um, this works better for me as far as a feeling like a ship. The other one is very specifically a sanctuary kind of like,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
you know, it serves its purpose well. It's not a great ship design by any stretch of the imagination, but it does what it's supposed to do. So that I guess does make it a good ship design in a way. This one though feels like it could do other things as well, and it's just got a big recreation area, which is be the upper couple of decks. There's probably decks below this, you can imagine. I still like this design. It's pretty cool.
I did too. Do you want to Google the Peacekeeper Command Carrier if you don't remember innately? Because I think, and while I said to you off air, the new ChatGPT 5 I think is slower. I think that is a far more consistent design than we'd had in previous ones. Because that genuinely is the command carrier to a lot of compared details. And then just
Yeah,
with a rainforest. That's actually not a bad, like,
yeah.
that's intriguing because the closer that stuff is to being usable, the more we can review it. So I was relatively quite pleased with this, especially as the command carrier is meant to be this absolutely giant, this giant, is generational ships because of how big it is. But they, have kids, they have schools, whatever. So to give that this giant foresty stuff is great. But Stuart, though, as much as I like this invention that we invented yesterday, it's got to be F. It's only half Star Trek, kind of. Sorry, classic / me. You're welcome. Classic / me / you're welcome.
Yeah, I think the other Rainforest ship would have probably got a D just because it had a purpose and but this one, yeah, not really Star Trek.
But whose fault is that?
Yours.
Excellent. Next is the Mars class from Star Trek Discovery. It's always great when it
Uh,
starts with a sigh, isn't it? Exciting. Yes, Jet.
I don't mind this one honestly. It's got a unique, interesting shape. Again, it feels very X-planey though, like experimental aircraft type vibe going on. The detached things, I don't have a problem with detached stuff in the 32nd century, so that's not really an issue. I'm just wondering if they're
Put your pitchforks
specific.
down, everyone. He's allowed his opinion.
Um, I'm wondering if it's specifically nacelles that are detached, or if there's actually living spaces in those, because it looks like there's a lot more going on there than just the engine components. So, uh, no, I think it actually looks like an orbiter or like an iteration on the shuttle design. Um, very simplistic, nice, easy. Yeah, I actually don't mind this design at all, if I'm honest. Wish
Okay,
we could have seen it.
get your pitchforks back. Yeah, I mean, there is I think if I'd say a sliding scale when it comes to these era of ships, from to to.
Yep.
But if you can remove yourself from all of that, I think this looks relatively nice. It's definitely very bony, and I know this is the conceit of the era, but if you were to do some actual Star Trek to it, give it a bridge dome, give it front facades, give it blue warp coils, give it future phaser strips. Like if you were to take this base design and add those elements, it would still to me be a Ultra Future Voyager combined with Nova combined with Blair combined. There's something there. And
Mhm.
many people would argue to add pylons. I get it. But you could definitely make this, like, especially like I said, if you just take out the nacelle arms, that would be a decent primary hull shape
Mhm.
for like a Voyager variant. Very fair. It's quite close to Horizon, but it's neither here nor there. But you could do something with that
Is
base
it
shape.
is it just me or does it look very similar to the Pathfinder? Just putting the cells, just attaching the
Is
cells
that a
to
Star Trek
the
Online one?
yeah. There's also seen in Picard. But yeah, if you put in the cells on, I think it's got the same kind of Pathfinder vibe to it.
It's more pointy. I know what you mean, but it's definitely more pointy.
Yeah. No, I don't mind this one actually, and I'm
Hmm.
probably going to surprise people with where I want to put it, but I wouldn't mind putting this at a B, honestly.
And that's the problem. If it had the Star Trek isms, it would be. I could see it being B.
It's got a registry on the front and pinstriping. Come on now.
Does a pinstripe. But that's the thing. Grey on the curve, right? For the future ships, this is one that works better. Okay,
Yes.
if you okay, and you're
Okay.
and
Okay.
you're
Okay.
and you're not gonna like this question, Stuart. Are you ready for the question you're not gonna like?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, let's assume she's B. Is she a BS, a BA, a BB, a BC, a BD, or BF?
Not a best friend. A little bit of bullshit. Um, I don't know. That's a very good question. Uh,
It's a
I
stupid
don't know.
question. Yeah, go for B, but I think that's we're throwing a slight bone to Picard, to Discovery, but you know what?
They came up with worse, so this isn't so bad.
You know what? They came up with worse. Yeah.
And I'm not wrong. All right.
Nice. All right, next.
Next up, we got Matt. $5. Thank you so much, Matt.
Thank you.
Phase 2 Enterprise.
Damn.
I love the TMP refit. Still my favorite ship of all time, but I do prefer the exposed Bazaar collectors of the Phase 2. There's a lot more changes than like yeah, than that, but I do like the Phase 2. I like seeing it in Star Trek New Voyages. Is that the one? Yeah, I think so. Um Toby Bias Rector did a good job with that, and it looks great. Like I would have been fine with that being the new Enterprise, but then you see the refit and you're like, damn, glad we kind of missed out on the Phase 2. But it's a good iterative step because you got some of the design elements of the refit in the cells, including the swept back pylons, and yeah. The registry on the secondary hull, I don't mind either. I think that's kind of a nice new touch. It's got two turbo lifts behind the bridge. Um, it's too TOSy though, but that's why I like it as an iterative step as like a test bed for some of the refit components. But it's a really nice ship. And I like the deflector, the way it's inset, but still a dish with the little antenna. There's a lot to like about the Phase 2 Enterprise. That being said, it doesn't look super awesome from every angle. The nacelles are a little bit too narrow in comparison to the cylindrical ones of the TOS Enterprise, but it's still pretty great. I don't know where I'm going to rank it yet.
Yeah, it's a very appropriate logical iteration or mid step,
Yeah.
but does not have the same charm as a full one. But that's also kind of like, well, yeah, right? It's not. I mean, it's not. That it's not trying to be, but it just didn't happen to be. Yeah, I mean, I used it recently in a film vaguely. Yeah, it looks nice. It is. I like the nacelles. I think they work really well. They are a good hybrid. It shows how effective that clean hull, sort of slightly marbly, slight vibes works. It just looks nice. I think the singles pre-launcher always felt a little bit weedy. This, of course, is not the circle, which a lot of versions are. That always felt weedy to me. Could have a bit more bulk. But yeah, it's a very lovely mid-step that does feel like a TV budget up-res, where tubes of the day have gone, and now we want something sleeker, and so I've done this. But it's, it would be nice if the Roddenberry Archive, Sam Witwer and such, would do a short on the Phase 2 refit, a couple of space shots, some LED wall stuff, and get Kirk in some uniform, maybe just be TOS at that point, because they're the same as TOS. Doing something with this Enterprise would be lovely to see it actually do a mission. It deserves a little bit of screen time.
Yeah, and you do get a taste of that with the Star Trek New Voyages, because Mike Hayes says I would love to see that in warp, and there are shots of it in warp in that, I believe. So
Yeah,
you get to see it doing things, entering orbit and like doing some really cool
I
stuff.
think
So
yeah, there was a one episode, one short of it being constructed, and one of it as the hero, but that was as they swapped out. Would have been nice to see more. I would say a confident B tipping to A.
I was going to say at least a rock solid A.
Well, there you go.
It's just it's got elements that speak to me, but then it doesn't have the grace and elegance of the refit, nor does it have the overall just perfectness of the TOS Enterprise. So yeah, that's why I put it at A instead of S.
There you go. Oh yeah, I don't think it's S. Like you say, it's weaker than both, which isn't a
Yeah.
bad thing. It just is, at least in our opinion.
All right. Tab extra, 50 krona.
Thanks so much.
Galaxy class, 100% Trek S tier. Where is the Galaxy on here? Do we have one? We have to have one. There it is. I found it. Haha.
Excellent.
Excellent.
I mean, it's a pretty good one. And we talked about
Yeah.
it recently for something else, and it's sort of design that I don't really get the derision. It looks future-y to me.
Yeah.
But
well,
it's just so definitively the next step forward in my brain. It just feels
yeah.
Yeah.
I was there at the time when it came out, and I wasn't a big fan of it at first because it didn't have the correct proportions to me, but I was like 14. But after watching the show, it very quickly grew on me. I'm not a big fan of the opening sequence of TNG because some of the shots of it doesn't look the best, the way that they have it go by the camera and stuff. Like there are better beauty shots, like this one. This one in particular is really great. And yeah, the organicness of it, I was kind of with it, but it's since really grown on me. It's a fantastic design. It definitely says power, yet luxury as well. Like there's a lot going on. And I think Andrew Prober did a fantastic job with all the shapes here. I used to think the nacelles should be longer, but they're actually better truncated the way they are. So yeah, it's kind of a perfect blend. And some people seem to just hate it, which I don't understand. So
Like, I get if you're mentally stuck in the original, and that is it, right? That's it.
well, that was the mindset at the time when TNG came out.
But as
Not
soon
my
as
Star Trek.
but as soon as you jump forward, it's like, well, it's not your Star Trek. It's the next generation. It's literal, figurative.
Yeah.
It's the next, and and it feels like such a step forward. Yeah, I mean, for me, this is easily the best ship on the list by a substantial margin. And the fact that, some people quantify this as looking bad from some angles, but I've not done a single bad looking flyby, I think. I've done a lot of flybys of her. She has this weird reverse grace. Why is she so forward heavy? Why is her back so small? But as soon as it comes by, that saucer, like, you feel the weight, and then it goes, and all the glows, and it's lovely. Lovely.
So we got our first S tier, thanks to Matt Yaring. No, sorry, Tab Extra. That's what I meant to say. Yes. And of course, Classic for Real gave us our first F. Didn't he Didn't he do a PayPal? Isn't there two for Classic for real?
We already did the first two. But if you want to do the other super chat, then I'll jump in after that with the other three, in fact.
Oh, okay. Tab extra. Another 50 Cronus. Thank you, sir. Intrepid class. Voyager. S minus. We have an Intrepid here somewhere as well, I'm sure. Just such small little images. Hold on a second. Do we
Intrepid.
not?
Classic. If not, I could just throw one in.
Just throw it in because I can't find one.
I mean, that means you guys might not have done it the last couple of times. Therefore, never talk about it. Crazy.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that you'd think would get picked, but didn't.
Thanks for not ignoring it, guys. Appreciate you. Yeah, Voyager. Obviously, I have a slightly personal relationship with this craft. I've had the original model for years and years and years, where, you know, it's the first ship that was built using CGI reference to the original miniature, so the texturing is very organic. There's lovely artifacts in the textures that are from the actual painted model, and then Voyager took over with CG. So this is the one you associate Voyager with, whereas Deep Space Nine is kind of a mix. The movies are kind of mixed. TNG is the model, so it's like the first. Okay, that's how we knew it looked, and I was able to recreate shots from it using this model. So absolutely incredible, right? First one that included window detailing because it's so much smaller, give it a bit of oomph there. There's a lot more elements of the design that you can relate to one, as in you can fly by it and see. Like I said, the ready room, brief room, all the rooms, so you know how big they are. The docking ports, the shuttle bay. It's the first ship of the Connie, the D, and then this to have a scale, an understandable scale. You know,
Yeah.
right, where the sorts of flying over it shots have a validity, whereas a Galaxy is just a big thing, right? None of the details are sort of macro, so it's a very, very real ship in that regard. Of course, the directive for Rick was designing the Galaxy, but smaller and sleeker. Nailed it. Every single element is here from the Galaxy, but smaller, sleeker, with a unique. Went for a spoon. Looks great. You know, he invented all the new elements as well that were. Yeah, it's just a really nice craft that, again, I don't know if I've done a single bad looking ship shot with, and I've done a lot of Intrepid shots. It's just really, really fundamentally fantastic ship.
One that looks graceful in motion, and especially in battle scenes where it's maneuvering, it just flows so nicely. Um, plus the ability to land, having the addition of the aero shuttle, which you never see, but that's fine. Um, you're muted, so I can't hear you.
But it was there, and that's the main thing.
Yes, yeah. Plus the interior is great, honestly. I like the bridge layout. It's not the standard bridge layout with the single captain's seat. You got the bench thing going on, but two unique seats. I love the sliding aspect of the helm chair. Like there's a lot of really cool stuff in Voyager or in the Intrepid class. I'm still not the biggest fan of the nacelles, and the articulation I always thought was gimmicky. Doesn't look great with the nacelles up, in my opinion. But and I would have preferred one of the original prototype models that they actually built as Voyager myself back in the day. But again, this one's really grown on me immensely over the years.
Well, those concept models, I mean, a giant fin would have felt dated very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, while nice, is a bit too sharp. In some ways, I think this is a really nice.
Sharp's a good way of saying it, yeah.
Sleek is forward at least from the other ones.
Yeah.
So I think it fits as to where it was. Although I would love to have seen that concept model brought in some way.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, it's an S tier. It's just S.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not just because it's a hero ship and we've spent a lot of time with it. It's just the design is just great.
Yeah, it feels truly epically designed because it was. There's been a lot of thought and design and detail into it, and it really comes across. Yeah, I mean, obviously the hero ships are gonna be favorites, but you know, and we done one of these with just hero ships, and Stuart's TOS Connie bias meant always S's for that. But I think these have such a charm as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did you have another one you wanted to throw in before the next super chats, or
Well, I have 3 from Classic.
do you want to do those first?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
First, we have the Foley class refit.
That's not the Foley class refit.
When you Google Foley class refit, that's what you get, Stuart. Blame Google.
That's not the Foley class refit.
When you Google...
We're not going to talk about this one because this is all wrong. This is somebody DeviantArt did this.
Okay,
Somebody
well, you
on
can find the
DeviantArt.
real one. I'll talk about...
Put in the next one and talk about it while I look for
Guess
the
what?
next.
He said Horizon. Hey. So from one Rick ship to another. Horizon, of course, designed by me and Rick Sternbuck. I gave him a basic shape. He did absolutely everything else until he did a few things. I said, no, please, Rick, I need this, this, and this. And he was like, okay, fine. And he did some more details because he did a few things a little bit literally. Yeah, meant to be a ultra deep space explorer with a 3 pairs of warp nacelles, but 5 pairs of warp coils. Reason for that, of course, is that is that designed to stay at its max warp speed for a normal ship to add a cruising speed for this ship. So whereas normal ship can go, 7 hours at warp 9 or whatever, this would go 45 hours at warp 9 and therefore allowing you to traverse insanely further distances in the same amount of time without cool down or cycle through them and do, let's say, warp 8.7 for 80 hours, whatever. It does have quantums. I'm not the biggest fan of putting quantums on everything, but it did make sense. It has Rick's classic fare of the big cut-ins and then the standard windows, in which case I put rooms in every single one. Has a dual shuttle bay for the exclusively Type 9s, I guess 6s, and also big craft as well, so it's got a functionality of that. And while I wish I had more, reason to design more of the insides, like what do the corridors look like? At some point, at some day, we'll do that, and it'll be great because, I probably will do the bridge again because the bridge was very early, maybe like 7 years ago, the bridge. So I've evolved a bit how I feel about things. You know what? I can retcon myself. It's fine. It's only in one scene of 2 scenes of 2 films. But yeah, it's faithfully Rick. Utilizes a lot of the E, but not Prometheus, but not Dauntless, but not. It's all those things, but not. It's its own unique thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great design, honestly. I'll send you the Foley class in a second here. I just gotta still find one. But yeah, the Horizon is a nicely designed ship, and I don't see it on my screen. There it is. The shapes are really nice. You can definitely tell the Rickisms in it, but also the Samisms. And it's got that arrowhead look, which is very indicative of the Rick kind of design language, which I know you like. Or a shovel head almost as well. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of one element of it, and that's the things on the side of the saucer there, the engines. But I understand the reason for them.
And
So
without them, it'd be far more boring. That absolutely sets it apart in terms of function.
yeah,
Otherwise,
absolutely.
it's just a pointy. Otherwise, it's just Prometheus class with some other stuff. Like not literally, but like that gives it an extra layer of dimensionality.
Yeah.
Because Devereaux says basically a scaled back Prometheus. I mean, no, it's bigger than Prometheus, I believe. Maybe. It's got very different mission profile. It obviously can't split. Kind of is also separate. So it's 3 ships back into one. It's designed for different things. And Prometheus needs to dedicate a lot of internal volume for its triple split. So it's 3 less capable ships, but 3 times the amount of weapons. This has only 1 times the amount of weapons, but the internal volume is actually filled with real stuff. So it's got a bigger crew component. It's got bigger shuttle bays. It's got all that stuff. So it is not scaled back. It's just the design of Prometheus was tasked to come in and sketch a few things, literally and figuratively, and then the direction came in because it's meant to feel like a form follows function ship. It's meant to feel like it does what it does. But it was a real joy to have Rick design new phaser strips and new torpedo launchers. Things are how he would do in Voyager Season 7. Real joy. It's a kind of a bitch light, though, because of the angles, and you could not have known that when starting, because like it's so curved that you have to light. Basically, this is the only way you can light it is half before it like gets too bright. You don't know until you actually build it, the limitations. But that's okay.
Mm. Let's see. I would probably for this one's got a unique look. I know the creator; he's an all right kind of guy. It feels like it fits in with the Kira kind of fleet design almost. It's got some feels like it's part of that fleet, and I want to give it an A.
I mean, the sad truth is it's more designed than most ships in Discovery.
I know.
Most
It's
ship.
not
I know you probably want to say that, but it's like it's more designed than a lot of modern ships.
a lot of fan ships are way more designed than what we're getting. Yeah.
But also, it's not over designed like fan ships can often do. It's not.
And it was and you had Rick Sternbach.
That's what I mean.
helping
Like
it,
he
so
designed it to the point that he would design it. I mean,
yeah.
I'll obviously take an A. I think it's definitely, it's a ship that if you don't like the Prometheus pointiness, then you won't like it. If you don't understand, you won't like it. But when you break down how many unique elements and how they're all the same but different, the fact that they're giant RCS thrusters at the front to give radical motion, there's a lot of thought gone in. I'm excited to do more with it. I've got a couple of films where it's the hero, although not enough.
No, I know. I gotta see, but you gotta use it more, my friend.
I agree. Well, it has been upgraded, so I look forward to bringing it to the world. Hey, if we get funding in October, then hey, right? We can
Yeah.
finally design other sets for it, or in classic Trek fare, take the sets and modify them. I do know it has a stellar cartography and Generations because I've already done that scene.
Cool.
Already filmed that.
Don't see why I wouldn't.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
You should have the Foley class there with you now. Not that you need it, but I should have just put it in. Whatever, it's fine. So it's not on my computer. That was on my phone. So 42 people watching and 33 likes, guys. Hit that like button. Let's get those likes up to 40 if we can. I'd really appreciate it. Sure, Sam would as well. Let's try to get 50, honestly. And keep the super chats coming with your ship ideas.
Or PayPal for double, as has been one for you so far. The Foley class jet refit.
The Foley class refit. Yes.
TMP-fied.
Yep. Only 3 of them were ever built. It can separate. That third nacelle slides up and locks into place, and it separates. So you got a single nacelle, and then also like a heavier kind of. It doesn't have the same design elements of the TOS Foley class because it's got the shuttle. This one has shuttle bay at the back. It is still a bigger shuttle bay. It looks pregnant. You can say the secondary hull is enlarged, but yeah, it's just I don't know what else to say about it. It's just an awesome ship. And I really need to get a 3D model of it made. So
yes. Well, how does it compare directly to the refit in terms of power level or whatnot? What would be the more direct comparison?
It's slightly larger than the saucer's roughly about the same size as the regular refit, so you can kind of tell from that it's got more internal volume because the secondary hull's larger. Power is ramped up quite a bit. I don't know the percentages or anything. I haven't really worked on all the stats for it, but yeah, it's a dreadnought. That's what dreadnoughts do. It's a fleet command ship. It's there to make sure that the fleet gets its orders essentially, and it can still kick ass and separate and go to different parts of a sector or area to oversee what's going on. So it does have a purpose in that regard that it can split. Yeah, I got views of its split and all that as well, but we're not going to get into those right today. But yeah, I don't have anything else to say. It is the Foley class just modernized.
Excellent.
So,
And
yeah.
then third on that set was an audience choice. And I was monitoring, and someone said the old future Connie.
It's a D for sure.
Ah, but we liked it more after we did those detail renders.
Are we are we not gonna rank the Foley class?
Oh yeah.
Just gonna get rid of it? Thanks, I appreciate
As I
that.
said, Stuart, where do you rank the Foley?
I don't know. You tell me. You like ships. You look at ships all the time. What
I'm not.
proportionally
I'm not
does
fair to rank. I'll say on that one
oh
because my ship's more designed to be different. Yours is more designed to fit in. So you know, there are different styles of design language. I'll let you place her.
I'll put it at A just to be fair
There we
because
go. Good stuff. Good stuff.
sure thing.
And you'll
All
never
right.
guess what ship the audience. Stuart, do you know what ship people really wanted next? You're never gonna guess.
32nd century Constitution class would be my guess.
You know what? It's like we're of one mind. That's amazing. Yes, the Connie 3, which I think you love. And a part of me says you do. Hi, Cosmos. Hi, Gorgonzola.
Why is it being held together with girders and fucking elastic bands? And what is with the nacelles struts sweeping up and then back in? That is the ugliest design thing I've ever seen. The the nacelles are very reminiscent of the what is it? The piece of shit from Beyond. The Nemesis? Is that it? They got that they got that kind of weird shape.
From Beyond. You mean the
No,
fighters?
Into Darkness. Into Darkness.
Vengeance.
That's the one. Yeah. It says that to me.
Hmm.
A lot of negative space, not needed. Just fill all that shit in. You'd have a lot more internal volume. Why? This is just no. I don't like this ship. Never have. Probably never will.
And
The
what will you never
struts are just
forgive them
wrong.
for? The death of your sanity, or?
Sure, yeah.
Mhm.
Just fucking put the struts straight into the nacelles. Why? Why this? It's like that the fucking Farragut from Strange New Worlds with those stupid curved. Why? It
Look,
looks
it
insanely stupid.
it improves the quantum transwarp ultra setting, go faster, Bassard stripes. They gotta do it, Stuart. They gotta do it. Gotta do it. Gotta do it.
Uh, it's
And I
just
think we worked out also the nacelles are free floating in some way. The very
probably,
subtle, if you recall, a very subtle hole somewhere. It might just be with the. I think that the two parts of the nacelles aren't touching,
probably.
and the inner bits are free flow. I think that's what it was. But yeah, it does still have a semblance of the
Yeah.
of that good stuff.
It just looks like somebody took a couple saucer sections of different sizes and stuck them together with fucking rubber bands and go, that's a good look. Let's do that. It's ugly. I'm sorry. I don't like this design. The only redeeming quality is it still has the silk, like from the top, it would still look
Mm-hmm.
very much like a Constitution class. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you can't tell me that you like it.
Well, again, this is a sliding scale, right? Look at the other ships of the era. They're all, what the hell's that? What the hell's that? This is at least a Star Trek ship. No ifs, no buts. It does the assignment better. Right? Could it be improved? Yes. Is it the most faithful of them all? Probably. Right? So yes, for those regards, yes. I mean, yes, you could tweak other things, but various other things you tweak as well. No, I think it's dumb, but they're all dumb, right?
This is dumber than the one we have in B for sure.
No, I think it's at least on par. Again, the fact that it is so much more Starfleet than that one should be enough, right? There's no confusing. The other one, it could be so many other things.
Gorgonzola, this thing looks like an egg separator. It does. Absolutely. Yeah. So what, you want to put it in B then? I guess.
Yeah, I think it less successful design, but more successful as Star Trek design. And then have the sliding scale of other things in that era that are less successful.
You're not wrong. B's fine.
But it would be something that if I again was approached by a fan film team that wanted this as a hero ship, I would start to tweak it, right? Because you really could. But we have another set from the PayPal, so thanks so much. We have the
Well,
ball ship from TNG.
shouldn't we get to super chats first so that people?
As I said, Stuart, super chats.
Oh. All right. Area 51, $5. Constitution class refit. How was this S tier ship not the first one posted?
Sorry, yeah, I forgot we put back.
All right, Connie. There she is.
There
It's
she is.
absolutely yes. There's what else to say. You take the perfect TOS ship design and you make it a little bit better and you make it a little bit more, you know, sleek. It's a home run. What else can we say? We've said so much about this over the years. It's great.
It's a ship that's only limited by how it's shown. This is not do it justice, right? It looks nice, but when you
Yes.
see it on the film screen, when you see it on the Roddenberry network, it looks amazing. And when you see it in Star Trek 6, when it's flatly lit, it looks a lot less good. A lot less good. I'm not saying it needs to be the pearlescent paint, but you need to have the darker lighting, the reflective panels, like all that stuff comes together. So when it is done properly, it's a work of art. But it is not innately a perfect design, but has the potential to look like a work of art. Right?
Yes. Absolutely.
But that said, when given such treatment, when you have things inside the windows, absolutely sings. And it's the model of simple yet with some details. You know, we'll add some balls that are weapons. Okay, whatever, but they're subtle. So we'll add some lights to the bridge dome that sort of light the saucer, but not really. They can't, not on that angle. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. We'll add a bottom set of things that kind of work. Yeah. Yeah, just a whole lot. We had 2 rings of deflector blue because probably does something. But it all adds
Sure.
up, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's S tier.
It is indeed.
You don't have to talk it up. It just speaks for itself. Okay, I need a new mouse. My button does not work anymore. There we go. Do you want to do super chats next, or do you want to do?
Yeah, right.
All right. Next up, we got Tab Extra with 50 Krona.
Thanks so
USS
much.
Defiant. Overhyped. Did kick ass good, but it was limited. Ship
Mm.
B plus rank.
Ooh, overhyped.
The Defiant. Yep, definitely a new approach to Starfleet design, but it's compact. It is designed for a specific purpose, and it is overpowered. It's so overpowered that it was a problem at first. Plus the addition of the cloaking device and the Romulan officer that was always there to maintain that. It's what? Um,
And she was crucial for the plot. It would never be superfluous ever.
yeah, I remember her playing a big part in the last season. Like Jesus.
Well, I mean, she was cloaked most of the time, but when she wasn't
Oh,
cloaked, she was crucial.
gotcha. Very small ship, even reflected in the interior. Small mess hall, small hallways, uh, living quarters, bunk beds. Like it was the bare minimum of what you need to do the mission, essentially, and kick ass because it was pulse phasers, overpowered, just fantastic design. Looks fantastic in motion. Not the biggest fan of the design when it first came out. Still not. There's still some angles of it that kind of bother me, but overall, I wanted to see more. It had more potential, especially with that front part being a detachable weapons pod or something. Would have been cool to see something like that. I like that idea, but anyway, yeah, the Defiant.
What's another example of the exact same thing as the the fighter carrier, right? It is a question of how far can you change the mold while still in keeping?
Mm.
And the answer is lots. And it still looks great. Now, of course, it was not a Federation design originally. It was a ship of the week that Jim Martin designed, which they liked and modified. So that does speak to it's like, well, it was not a Federation ship. And it shows how little they had to do, relatively speaking, to convert it to be Federation. That said, it looks amazing in motion. Just does. It's got, you know, the wing vibe. You can do that. Curves roll, you know, really, really nice. Some lovely details of a lot of glows, especially in the first contact version and the original miniature, like the first few episodes, where it's got the purple back bit, purple red, the blue. You can see in that the blue rings, the impulse engines that are red. Like, so, you know, most of it has a glow of some kind, but then different versions turn it off or on depending on what it is. And I've always quite liked the tiny shell bay, not a tiny windows in the secondary hull strips. You know, the view of seeing the other wing, tremendous.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yes, Shuttle Bay as well, which you will see in Trek Shorts, and it's already in something, in fact, but it's not come out. And it's very fun to see just a giant belly open and a shuttle going in. It's really fun and satisfying and silly. Does it fit?
Cool.
Yes. Could you dum 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 and hit the bridge if you hit the ceiling of the shuttle bay? Yes.
Problem.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's and the fact they didn't kit bash any sets, it's all fresh, all its own identity. It's great. It's so un-Starfleet, and yet because its form follows function, and because the miniature they had to build had to be so small, the detail is so wonderful. I mean, I think nothing but S of it personally, because it's so itself, but you know, because it's so good in motion as well. That's why I'm gonna give it the oomph.
And we see it a lot in motion doing some really cool maneuvers.
Yep.
So yeah, I think it's earned its place as an S tier ship.
So it's just so much more cohesive than the Akira. The phase 2 it's the weaker of both, but still nice. This is its own thing. It just works. Yeah.
Cool. All right, and if you guys disagree with any of these rankings, you can move them up or down one tier with a $5 super chat or PayPal. So let us know. But
that's how we support the channel, by having this fun with you all.
Guardian Sage, $10. With regards to the poll, I voted for alien ships because my top 2 favorite ships in Star Trek are alien ships. Those are the Romulan Derridex class Warbird and the Vulcan Dekir class cruiser.
Which I have at the bottom because I
Oh,
yeah, there we go.
I don't see the Derridex, but
Oh, sorry. I assumed it was already at the top. I think I saw it at the top.
not here. These are all Starfleet ships because there was a Starfleet ship specific one. Although there is a D7 over there, but
I'll go with the Dakir first, and I'll get the new version of the Romulan. Ring ship.
Yeah, this is one of the nicer ones, ring ship wise, from the Vulcans for me. A lot of interesting shapes melded together, and it's very organic. Not a big fan of the color scheme, but hey, Vulcans, it's fine. The blue ring's nice. And it's to the point, you know. It's a logical design, if you will. It's nothing extra going on, really. I don't know. I don't have much to say about it. It's one of the nicer ring ships from the Vulcans for me. So I'm just not a huge ring ship fan in general.
Oh yeah, it feels more cohesive than some of the ones. It has an odd, elegant balance, even though it's that, but it doesn't feel that going in. I like the fact that it has the secondary craft inside the back, the little shuttle, which is cool. The fact that you can't which it seems odd I'm saying that compared to the Kirk class, the other one. I like the fact you can't really ascertain what's where beyond the obvious bridge dome, and there's a few things I don't, it's got a certain like curvy organiciness that works, but the Vulcans are
Yes.
meant to be a bit more unknown, right? This one, yeah, this one's definitely my favorite Enterprise ships in general. I'm happy to give it a gentle B.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. I was kind of thinking B as well. So,
All right.
all right. And then we got the Dederidex.
Yes. S.
I gotta put an S then. Certainly unique. I'm not a huge fan of the Dederidex overall.
Oh,
It's big to be big, and the negative space, it's actually not so big.
it's not so
It's
big.
just spread out the way it's spread out.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I do like that it's powered by a quantum singularity drive. I think that's freaking cool. And yeah,
Well, damn.
I do prefer this version to the original Trobert one that was vertical instead of horizontal. But
I like both, as I would like to have seen both.
yeah,
Obviously, TNG wouldn't have made two models, but still. Yeah, for me, this is such a definitive design in that, it is big, bold, striking. It's a little bit silly. It's a giant bird, but at the same time, it's shipified, And we have so many things in our world that are a bit odd because of X or Y. This just kind of flows, and it is intimidating. You'd like to think that a lot of battle is not actually to fight. And so if this thing decloaks and you are like, oh no, maybe you won't have to fight and everyone gets to save. We did get to see the bridge and some other details, which are great. But yeah, you can imagine trying to navigate this thing. Now, I'm sure if only the head is livable, like actually space you stay in and then you go to other parts as need be. It's kind of hard to comprehend. I'd love if someone did, as I've done for the Galaxy and some other ones, an actual deck layout to see how big is the top blade. I
mm.
can't visualize how big that is practically and how many decks there would be or what tech there is in there, right? Because it shouldn't just be a pylon, right? It's too big to be just a pylon. So what else is going on? I don't know.
I think we've talked about it. It's at least 3 to 5 decks because the window
Sure.
scale on this is insane. So,
Mm-hmm.
so you want to put it at S?
Well, if you are not as keen, then go for an A. But it's definitely a top tier.
No, I'll just put it at S. I don't have a real opinion one way or the other on this one.
She's just one of the few zeitgeist worth ships that count TNG.
All right, and then classic for real, $2. I sent a PayPal. My PayPal you missed. We'll get to yours now then.
Didn't miss it. Discuss them as we go. Now the TNG ship. The Bulls, the last Andrew one's ever designed. Shockingly Ferengi-y, right? So it's not Ferengi-y at all. But the
Well,
Bull looked great. For an effect at the time, it looked great. It's a nice design, genuinely. Simple, yes, but it's just a standard fair ship. Just made by that alien race. Right? It simple but unique. I'm surprised it didn't use it very much after that.
yeah, I'm also surprised it wasn't reused. I do like the multicolored ball thing going on. It looks similar to Vulcan ship designs with that big round part. Just put a ring there instead of a bubble. It's got that kind of vibe.
Yeah, it is
But yeah,
definitely Kiri.
yeah, the front is very Ferengi-like. Um, yeah, it's a unique design for sure. We don't have a D yet. I don't think it's worthy of a D, but
No, I think it's a high C.
yeah.
It's got more swagger than everything in C, but it's not quite got enough to get it above C. For me, you see.
Perfect. All right. What else did he have in there?
Well, there's a one from FASA, therefore you are the expert and you can let us in on the magic. Of course, it is the CS2 Graceful Flyer Class V Career Scout Class. Alright, talk to us about your favourite of the FASA designs, the CS2 Graceful Flyer Class V Courier Scout Class from FASA.
Courier Scout, small ship, not very attractive looking, and never one of my favorites.
Oh, you do remember that?
So, yeah,
Hey, you did it! Classic, you did it. Good
and
job.
I deliberately didn't get a miniature of it when I could have because I don't like it.
Is it meant to be Starfleet or not? Because I really can't tell.
I don't remember. I thought it was Romulan, but with this paint scheme, it could be either. I don't know.
But to finish up the poll with 16 votes, I asked the question: overall, do you watch Trek for the Starfleet ships or for the Alien? Starfleet ships 92%, Alien 8%. So the pendulum did not move much. But wow, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I don't love it. It's very basic. I mean, hey, easy for them to produce, so that's them being clever and efficient. I mean, is it as meh looking as those Century ships from Best of Both Worlds? Maybe. So I could totally buy as a civilian craft that kind of helps people do things, but I commit it to have no swagger. And I would vote D for lack of swagger.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Nicer than I would have been. I would have said it's probably enough, but hey, what are you gonna do? At least it's a Star Trek ship.
See, that's the classic. That's all we have to do is make a Starfleet ship and then you're on the board.
You have another one? You said three. Didn't you?
I meant to. 3 was the
Oh.
possible.
All right, Matt Yarrington, $5.
Thank you, Matt.
New Orleans class, the refined design language of TNG era, but smaller with a classic arrangement. My only gripe is the belly pod.
I mean, can you get past the highlighters shirt? Can you get past that and live a new life?
Yep.
Great.
The one thing I can't get past is the window scale.
Oh yeah.
Because this has what? Two decks in the secondary hull, one deck in the saucer by the looks of things. That is egregious to me and bothers me immensely. I like the design of the ship. It looks fine in motion. The highlighter pods, because they were just highlighters, could be something specific, and I love that. But what is with the windows, guys? Design-wise, though, it's pretty cool shapes and designs there. So, just wish it made a little more sense.
Yeah, it's where the shape wins the award, and the details were expounded upon after the fact, right? Because even if the intent was a certain way at the time, maybe they only had so much time to create it that they did this, or this. That said, of course, it is a galaxy saucer, and yet they chose to make the windows so much different.
Yeah.
So, a bit odd, right? They could have not done that. But design-wise, it's super faithful. Yeah, and we did recently do a video where Galaxy without the neck, or at least I have that ready. Don't you feel that ready? Do you feel that ready?
We did.
There
We
you go.
did.
Didn't work, but kind of worked. This is actually successful, right? Where they had to balance it and work out stuff. And how do you offset the loss of the neck? You add details top and bottom. It balances it well. Yes, the bomb pod's a bit odd, but it balances well. It's actually going to be in a film very, very soon because I thought New Orleans needed more love. So you're going to see it do more stuff in the coming weeks. Yeah, you're right. Winner scale, oh dear. But
Yeah.
apart from that, it's, that's kind of how a kit bash should be. Faithful yet not yet faithful.
And using office supplies.
Well, they do not work,
Yeah.
Mm.
It's gonna be a B for me, this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's one of the higher ups of that world.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Next up, we've got Tab Extra with 50 krona. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Negative space is the worst thing that ever happened to Trek. I mean, you're not wrong.
I'm sure
It
it could
works
be
in
done great.
some instances, I guess. Yeah, but became a thing when it didn't need to be.
Well, it's not even like it's a crutch. It's just I guess the people that included it just loved it, and therefore they included it, right? Because
I think it was one of those decisions where it's like there has to be a reason for negative space. So if I want to design something different, I'm going to put negative space in because there's a reason for it. I don't know what it is, but it looks
mm,
different. That's what I think happened.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's a thing. It's a choice that people made, and yeah.
for better or worse.
Can you imagine if we'd said at the start, when Vengeance came out, it'd be like, that is not even the half of it. We're like, what? Yep.
Yeah. But Dan Ben, £4.
Oh,
Non-canon 23rd century Aquila frigate Apollo class.
yes. Always nice when we use our own thumbnail. Ha ha ha. Well,
It's the
it's
Yazzie class. That's different, isn't it? He
uh
wants the Aquila.
okay. Well, that came up as well when I was doing it. So
Well, maybe.
I mean, yeah, it's the other one. I both came up, and therefore I did that because it was more interesting. No offense. Okay.
And Muheda says, I've liked and subscribed. I'm new here. Well, welcome. Glad you're here. And
Hello.
we do lives like this all the time. So please
Uh-huh.
join us for them whenever you can. And all our edited content as well. There's
Where
always
you
content on the weekend.
are part of the conversation. Both in the
It's
old
the Aquila
ships and the new.
class.
Yes.
One of the cooler designs from like Starfleet Command and stuff. I really like this one. I do have a small model of one. uh, I prefer it to a single nacelled one like the Saladin or things like that because this has more going on, and I love that the top nacelle is placed further back to kind of give it a cool look from the side, and it definitely fits in the fleet, keeping refit elements like the attachment pylon on the bottom, still having decks in there. Like I'd like to see what's in there specifically, but where's its deflector? Does it have one? I don't think it has one. It's like the Miranda class in that regard, and that's fine. So, but no, I really like this. It is a fun ship to play. It's one of the first ships you get, so you kind of have to use it. Um, yeah, it's a interesting looking design.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously great. It's just too simple, right? It's one of those ones where it took so little thought that, of course, right? Saladin Plus, at least in this picture variant, it isn't just the same. Because in our kit basher, we take the same elements and use them again. So it would have been the same exact pylon for both. This is at least a little bit different. Although you can see how they've not properly done the modeling because you can see the bottom pylon goes into this nacelle incorrectly. They've obviously done, they've done something to try and make something that's not quite logic, but that's fine. Yeah, too simple, but works very effectively. It's just not creative enough for me. I like the Saladin variant, which actually has the shuttle bay at the back, which at least changes the design some. So if this
Yeah,
had a shuttle bay module at the back, I'd give it a bit more oomph, or like give it somehow a deflector cut in underneath the torpedo arrangement. But it's like a Saladin, right? It's amazing. It's just boring, but it's amazing.
simplicity works, especially in TOS.
Yeah,
And
you can't get excited about it, but it's still brilliant. So you know,
indeed. All right. For this one, I'm probably going to give it a Let me look at the board here. Kind of want to give it an A because it's just such a simple design that fits in so well with the rest of the fleet of that era.
Yeah, it's a very uninspired A. When you look at the amount of hours Horizon to that took to design, and it's not even.
We can put it lower if you feel like it needs it.
But that's the thing, right? We gave the time pod a C, right? If time and effort were the, you know what I mean? Like that's not the decider. Good can be good, right?
Right.
All right.
ISFJ 1009, $2 S tier, even without impulse engines. I don't know which one we were talking about.
Romulan.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Of course we love it. Good to see you. Good luck with the Type 9. May the modelling be with you. Stuart, and see also with you.
And also with you.
Thank you. Good job.
Yay, I win a biscuit. All right. Next up, we've got Guardian Sage, $5, NX class refit.
Yes. Well, bam. Oh, there you go. Yep, it's fine. The refit. Such a hard ship to see from almost every angle as being the refit. Because the damn
Yes.
thing is hidden from almost every view. And that's not its best views from the bottom. Because not how the NX was designed to be seen. So, sort of a, you know, yeah.
Yep, that's pretty much sums up my thoughts as well. Wish we would have seen it on screen. I mean, we did in Picard, but whatever. It's all right. It's better than the NX-01 for me, slightly. But Sam's right. It's hard to really see that it's the refit from a lot of angles. And it almost seems kind of lazy, if I'm honest.
Sorry, Doug, we love you. Yeah, it's just, it would be a great iteration. Like, if the show is genuinely designed with this in mind, like, actually, not retcon it back. Season 1, this, season 2, this, like, that logic. Then they could have had iteratively, improvingly adding details as we went. This could be an in-between step in the next version. The nacelles are different, then the second hull is bigger, or pushes forward, the bottom's changed, like, because it is weirdly balanced, right? Doug could only fit it in here and continue the lines. But obviously it's misdesigned because you can't get shuttle pods out without being an amazing pilot. That's a design flaw. Yeah. And it's so ill proportioned. It should be further forward, further. It's just. But that would involve changing the ship the next more, and that was not the point of it. It was to be an add-on, which makes sense. So therefore, I'd want to see the refit point 2, where they change the second, they change the under. They then, they actually add and modify.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, for me, the Phase 2 Connie. It's not as good as the Connie or the NX because it loses the charm of both.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
But it's still as good as New Orleans, right?
Yeah. So B it is.
Yeah.
And Muhida, says in Picard, yes, at the Fleet Museum.
Mm-hmm. But not just that, but in season 2, young Picard from the flashback has actually got it on his desk. So they retconned and include in the lore that old classic young Picard was a fan of the NX refit, which of course was less old when he was young. And it's just the Eaglemoss model, which is, pretty amazing. And yes, of course, Quinton will miss it in season 3. But it is there for all history. But we're on the super chat, though, we have 2 more from the classic for real, because he is for real. Now, I have hard to find an image on this one because I don't know why, but the TOS Star Trek Online Proxima, the enhanced version, of course, it was in, I'll let you refine that image, it was in a previous game, which I actually looked at, and the Star Trek Online finally brought it into the modern day, like 6 months ago for one of their packs. Same design, which we looked at, we kind of made some slight jokes about back in the day for its choices, and Stowe did that bit, refined them. So yeah, the Stowe version Proxima, and there you go.
See what I was saying earlier? about TOS designs being simple.
Mm.
This is the opposite of that. It's taking the simple
Mm.
shapes of TOS and overcomplicating them. Just have something different. That whole structure in the center for the nacelle seems rickety and sketchy at best. So I love four nacelles. I love that idea of the Mars class. Is it? Yeah, the Mars class and the Atlas class, I think,
Yeah,
also
they sound
has.
right.
Where the nacelles are there, but they're kind of banded together with like plating around them, which keeps it simple. This, I don't know. It's a TOS design, so I do like it, but
Slight bias.
compared to other TOS designs,
Ooh.
this seems over-engineered and overcomplicated, and it just doesn't work. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see where I want to place this on the list here.
Yeah, it's definitely, but it's also sort of trying to be a juggernaut, right? Beyond a dreadnought, it is a let's throw everything at the wall because we need to take damage. We need to be here and do stuff. So I buy it in that regard because art design only goes so far in wartime. And if this thing is going to warp in and be able to take on like 4d7s, doesn't matter if it looks nice or not, right?
Mm.
But that said, I'm gonna vote for a C because it's lost a lot of the charm, and it's
Mm.
a mid C. Like just because it's a boldness that keep it in C, you could definitely argue a not C.
Yeah, just taking away that simplicity of TOS design and trying to overcomplicate it just doesn't work for me.
But also, it
So,
would not work if it was the same design but a smooth single layer saucer. Like if it took away all the weird stuff, it would then be just lacking,
yes.
right? And viewer's choice, and so I went back and I looked in the chat to find a unique one, and they've gone for a Section 31 warship slash drone ship. From Discovery.
I'm well aware. It's black. That's cool. Like the blue accents and highlights on it. The lights are nice. Again, I get Vengeance vibes from it, just because not just because of the color, because of the shape of the nacelles just being weird and wonky. It's not the worst thing Discovery's ever done. Section 31 using it and painting it black is. But design wise, it's pretty interesting. It would have been cool to see it in the classic Starfleet livery. Um, White with pennants, I think would be kind of interesting. But got to give them marks for creativity. Four nacelles is kind of neat. But look at those nacelles and tell me that they're of that era, being that slim.
Well, they're Section 31, Stuart. They can be mega.
Yeah, clearly.
Super mega powerful, sexy, powerful, cool, epic, right? Right?
Sure, yeah.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it's so unique. It's so specific. So it works in that regard, but it was so mishandled in the episode, of course. It was so uninteresting overall. But the idea of a ship that could launch drones and the entire front is just empty space with drones is interesting. It's just not very Star Trek.
Yeah.
And if those nacelles are explicitly like stealth nacelles, so they have least amount of visible glows, so they can do the most, I get it. And apart from that, it's just kind of a Miranda with a Blair. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's so forgettable, and I'm sorry for the fact they had to do what they did because it's almost like every flaw in one design, right? Like baseline, um, negative space, no pennants, no SS rusters, all the things that we talk about. It's not that bad. What do you think, though, Stuart? Where are you thinking? Because it's not the worst. There are
No,
things wrong with it.
this one's probably a C, I would think for me. I
Yeah.
don't think it's D quality
Mm-hmm.
because, like I said, they tried and did something a little bit creative with it. So you still get the Starfleetness of it. Well, it's got
Mm-hmm.
the negative space and that cutout at
But
the cut.
Vengeance. I mean, because if you take everything as canon, that's a obviously Ryan Denning tried really hard, but if you break the wheel early, then of course you want to reference the only other 601 ship, the Vengeance, and this is, but that was itself as a flawed concept. So you've now piggybacked onto bad design with bad design. Is the nature of the design beast, right?
Yes.
But yes, I
Okay,
agree with placement.
I really need a new mouse. All right. Next up, ISFJ 1009, $2, Malon Waste Export Ship.
I'm going to clean render for you now. It's hard to kind of visualize that ship. But hey, has it ever been talked about? Maybe not.
Yeah, 47 likes, guys. Hit that like button if you're just joining us. We have 55 people here, so hit that like button. Let's get up to 50 likes. Get your super chats in while you can, because we will be closing out here soon. But yeah, B's filled up, so don't pick any B ships.
Yeah, can we get some SSSS or? Oh, okay.
It says no.
It did say no. Thanks for that. Well, you saw it for a second, Stuart. So your thoughts on the Malon tanker, as it is known?
All I saw was an exclamation mark, so there it is. It's a tanker.
It is a tanker.
So thanks for that.
Your tankin.
I'd tanker myself, but it's fine. It's a Malon enemy, not an enemy, but like a waste ship. It's a garbage ship. Literally, it's a garbage scow. Looks like one. It's just for storing garbage and transporting garbage, so it doesn't have to look good. I think the front end with the little cab at the front there looks like a truck.
Olivia.
Sure, I'm sure Olivia would love it. Yeah,
Olivia, bye.
but it looks silly beyond all belief.
Aww.
Looks like a dinosaur head, like an animated dinosaur.
Mm.
Not a fan. It's not going to be a high ranking for me.
But again, right? It ticks the box of what it's trying to be, right?
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, is that not the objective of all Star Trek ships, to be logical?
Sure, but it's not. I'm not grading it on how well the designer did. I'm grading it on how it looks for me, and just not great.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because it is just a giant tanker, but with some makes you think nods. Why are there so many domed modules throughout? I mean, they're not all going to be working zones. Maybe they're all like shield emitters or something, or maybe like anti-radiation meters, because you're not going to have 7 command pods on one side. I mean, the ships we saw are very minimally manned, right? Because they're crap jobs. So there's a few interesting choices.
Yeah.
And hey, good for them trying to do volumetrics of particles flowing, because that sucked at the time. But yes, Stuart, you're welcome to a D. Can't be an F, right? Because it is Star Trek. And there are worse designs, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be a D.
But good
All
shot for
right.
doing something different.
Next up, we got Gastro 1980 with $5. Thank you so much. Eisenberg class vessel USS Nog. Phone keeps wanting to autocorrect USS Not. LOL.
The space whale, kind of.
It's better than the stapler. I'll give it that. This feels like a luxury cruise liner with the way it's designed. Um, it's got an interesting profile for sure. It's reminding me of something else that I can't quite lock onto, and it's not the Cleave ship. It's not the Klingon Cleave ship.
My
Before
brain
Classic
goes to
jumps
the
in.
ship from Wally. I believe there's a ship that's kind of
Maybe,
somewhat similar.
maybe something like that. Um, Like you could put engines on the back of it, get rid of those nacelles completely, and have it be like a cruise ship from any kind of Disney or Pixar film. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's as far as the 32nd century ship goes, it's still up in the upper top part.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's not the stapler, and
That is
it's all
crazy.
right.
It's a tricky one because it is so un-Starfleet Star Trek. Except then you look at the weirdly Discovery-esque nacelles, kind of, that are not kind of. But it's a nice
Mhm.
design. It's just not recognizably Star Trek if you take the
Yes.
nacelles away. But it absolutely makes sense that it's a, alien ship that joined the Federation, blah blah. So it's a nice design. And honestly, it sounds embarrassing, but it's probably about a B as well because they're all weirdly different, and these are probably the three of the better, more specific ones. Because there are bad these designs, but it is
Yeah.
nice. But it's definitely not an A. C feels harsh.
Yeah.
If
Totally agree with that.
which is
But we don't have room
actually
in B.
good
So
for them. They've got three Bs.
want to resize the B's for me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think B's fair for that. It's an interesting enough design.
It would be interesting to take all these. It's far more subjective ranking chart, but as if we reviewed how Star Trekky a design was, because that's sort of biased towards the original Connie shape. So if it's not got a saucer and nacelles, it's basically out. But this sort of design would then be a D or an F, right? Because it loses so much of that consistency. That even something as simple as like having a deflector in the body would would do something towards helping it feel that way.
Yeah.
But
But
that's
at the
not
same
good for
time,
the rating, right?
yeah, it's enhanced future tech. So I'm glad there's not a deflector
Yep,
almost.
100%.
So
The dichotomy of future things. Looks one calmer.
future.
Yes, it does. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And Claude Hamilton, 2 pounds, USS Bonaventure, NCC 1000, ships of the line.
Back on a tier west sort of classic. Which is funny because I forgot. I mean, that was been there was a use this for that Stowe ship we looked at, that middle bit. I wonder if this was the originator of that style because clearly inspired the
Maybe.
Stowe ship.
Not a fan of the registry numbers on the side, but I get it. They have to do that with this body, incorporating a secondary hull with deflector into a saucer. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I like that this is, in my mind, an older design than the TOS Enterprise. That's just been a little bit updated. I mean, the nacelles look very strange and worldsy. Um, but I don't like the barrel being shoved into a saucer. Doesn't really work for me. Not a huge ship. You can tell by the window scaling there. Um, it's definitely unique, and I like that it's a precursor to TOS era because it feels like it. It feels like a good step between NX and TOS. So, but closer to TOS, obviously. But yeah, the registries on the side really bother me. I just don't like that. And I can't for the life of me picture what the bottom of this thing looks like. It's probably just a saucer with the tubes through it still,
Yeah, I
isn't
don't
it?
think there's anything particular on the saucer.
Yeah. Um, it's a simple ship doing a simple job, I guess. Feels like a submarine that they just slapped some extra rooms onto
Mm.
in the form of a saucer.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's certainly more interesting than the not Saladin, right? In terms of being a little more interesting, but is therefore failing a bit more while being interesting. But that's just by taking away the original aesthetic. But it's a really nice 3D model. It's clean, it's sleek, it's efficient. Yeah, I like the fact that you got the oldness of the black from the cage. They've tried to
yeah.
integrate the deflector as much as they can, and certainly it's now sleeker than the Connie. But by potentially losing something, I can see why Star Trek Online doubled the nacelles because that rebalances it quite well. But yeah, they're nice sleek
Mm.
nacelles. I also disagree thoroughly with the side registries. I think it just looks bad. Just
Yeah.
fundamentally, I would have. It's so stupid. I would have had them on the hump. Just accept your fate, right? Accept
Yeah.
you've made the choice to give it a stupid looking hump. Add the registry there. That's just me. But no, I mean it's very faithfully TOSE not, and the modeler did a good job. So I would say a respectful B, because it's actively flooring the design, but in being interesting. So it reaches the ceiling of quality, but it's absolutely gets into the B's.
And it's not overcomplicating things like the whatever TOS one
Yes.
is in C there.
All right.
It's actually making it more simple and just.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, final comments. We have now caught up. So if there's any last minute ones you'd like to see, you are now looking at the list, right? Is there anything you think is truly missing from this list, which there are many, right? There's many. So, I mean, yeah. Or any radical ones that you think need to be included, let us know as we are nearing the end of that.
And I'm looking at the list, and I don't think there's anything that needs to be moved or thought about. In my opinion, anyway, it looks pretty bang on.
Obviously, you obviously could move the weird ones in C down to D and give more space to separate out B and C. You could do that, but the broadness also kind of works,
Yeah,
because A is a very different kind of set.
yeah.
And everyone bloody loves the Sovereign. No one said Sovereign.
Few people in the regular chat did, but if you don't super chat, it doesn't exist.
Who?
Right.
Everyone loves the Sovereign, Stu. Everybody.
I mean, yeah.
No, it's a different list. How many aliens do we have there as a Federation? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6-ish. Wow. So a lot of Federation.
As tends to be the case.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm happy with the way it's looking right now, honestly. You are right. You could delineate B a bit. Yeah.
But it, you know, F is the not Trek, D is the C is B is the A is the S is the
Kestrel, $1985,
oh.
the USS Relativity.
That's a fun one to potentially end on.
Indeed.
29th century bad boy.
With its rainbow-like, beetle-like texture and hull and
Very hard to do, and they just sort of worked it out. Wabam.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not quite as cool when you don't have that, because there are other renders where it's just a sort of flat blue. But
Yeah.
the OG is what made it kind of special. Relativity, Stuart, relativity.
Like I said, it's got a beetle look to it with the coloring. The front always reminded me of a beak, of like even an octopus, the little beak that they break things with. It's kind of got that look to it. Um, it's a specific purpose built ship, and so I don't mind it looking different than standard Starfleet. Plus, it's so far in the future. I mean, not quite 32nd century, I guess, but you know, um, I've always liked the Wells class, but again, it's got that X-plane type vibe to it, experimental, like modern day fighter jet look. So I like a lot of those shapes that they use for that. Could it be better? I mean, probably, maybe, but I think it works for what it is. I love that it's a different color. It stands out. It's unique, and I love the interior design as well. Like the bridge is really cool, and the new L cars are also quite nice. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's what one of the very last things Rick ever designed, right?
yeah,
So it represents the master of the master of where we're going with Star Trek, because where we're going with Star Trek, and it keeps all the fundamental aspects while also not, because you can subdivide all the different pieces and where they and what they are. And I also really appreciate the inner bridge dome. I think that's really nice that you can see it. Kind of gives you a slight overconfidence potentially. You know, you don't see inside the windows of these ships, and therefore seeing it so blatant is like, okay, we're chill. But guess what? If you're a time ship that can survive the temporal Cold War, blah blah blah, you've probably got really advanced shielding that you really are not worried. You're having a great time. And we do include interiors, right? That has been part of this since the start. So I would honestly say it's an A for me because the interiors, like it all, like designing the future so successfully compared to like the 32nd century, where a lot of it's just generic white, 2001 sleek. That's way more designed to me. Maybe a bit
yeah,
low A, but I think it dips into A for if you include
yeah.
interiors.
I will not argue with that.
Boom.
The interiors really help this ship for me quite a
Yeah.
bit.
And if you include uniform as well, it'll go down for you, up for me though, but we won't include uniform. But then we have one more beautiful 10, so appreciate you all, because this is the last week of the month, so every super chat makes a big difference now, and that does absolutely help. So you got two, you raised it.
Thank you, Guardian Sage.
Bam.
Boss City ship and Zindi Aquatic ship.
Everyone loves this, I feel like. People always say this ship in every live, every kind of
They
ship.
do.
Why do you
Because
always include this, guys?
it's so goddamn big. And you're not it's powerful, right? Like you don't
Probably.
know what it's capable of, but you can speculate, right? I'm not the biggest fan of the design, honestly.
Does
It's
everyone
very
love this ship?
simplistic.
You know, there's just
Yeah.
I'm just confused by it.
It's almost a prehistoric type design. It's so old. I don't know.
Yes.
It's fine. It's a good adversary ship just because of its size and it's got an interesting enough look, I guess. Um yeah, I don't have much else to say.
Yeah, and this is obviously a very clean view. No one like really into the Eagle Moss, like properly. But yeah, I mean it does what it says in the tin, but it's not very interesting design to me.
Hmm.
I
Like I
get
know
it.
where I want to put it
Yeah,
already. So
it's uninspired is the wrong word because it's doing something specific, but aesthetically I don't love it. Design wise, it's fine. Yes, if you'd done it now with now's tech, you'd have done it more nuance, fine. But I think it's certainly an underwhelming ship, and I get the episode's amazing, but I've never really looked at the episode and thought, wow, the Voth City ship really stood out to me. It's in like two
I
shots
know.
plus an interior. Like I think of the two actors who are fantastic, the
Yeah.
storyline, the magistrate lady, who they all that stuff steals the show, not the tech. And I know that the small ship is just a reuse of another ship, so that's honestly I'd say a C because
That's what I
it's
was thinking.
fine,
Yep.
you
Yep.
know.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Especially with the other stuff we haven't seen.
yeah. Which is depressing because a little turd of a box with reflective beats a giant city ship. But you know what? Yeah. Yeah, it does.
And
We're not going
the
to back
next one
down on
is
that.
the Zindi Aquatic ship from
And it's
Enterprise.
so similar in concept for the time. Giant prehistoric ship. But this is what 10 years of different technology gives you.
Yeah.
Beautiful CG model. Wonderful texturing. I'll let you jump in there.
Yeah, the shapes are nice. They say sea animal to me, like a manta ray or something. And it is an aquatic ship, so yes, I love the air aquarium as well. That's a nice touch. Um, plus the size of this. This is the one that's the Enterprise was tucked inside, right? Yeah, it's a huge ship. Um, but it does feel very sea creature like, and I like that. Like those wings. Do you really need those? Like, what is the purpose of having the wings that go like that fine of a tip?
Well, it
But it
definitely goes in
looks,
the water. I mean, definitely on its own planet. You know it
yeah,
does, right?
yeah. So I mean, I like it. Probably more than the, well, definitely more than the Voss City ship. But how much more is the question?
I mean, yeah,
Uh,
it's so designed. It's got so many little things. The fact the wings they go out but then back in. Yeah, it's really nice. Slightly Klingon-y as well, oddly, with the
yeah,
head and the booms.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, really pretty. And I wish it was used more. But this felt like one of the big bosses at the end of the show. We've reached one of the big ones because the Aquatics are the big boys of the Zindi, but they're not very warlike. So they just happen to have big ships. And given that they are themselves like 3 times the length of a person, makes sense they're bigger ships, right? So it's not just big because big. It's big because they're bigger
necessity.
people, and they just swim. It's just a different sort of mindset. Yeah, I mean, design wise, this easily a B.
Yeah,
But aesthetic, say if you just go on sexiness, I'd say higher. But
yeah,
we don't really have interiors, we don't really have all that other stuff to go on. So that feels too generous for such a small ship, relatively speaking. But super prideful B. I certainly prefer it to the Nog, just as a design. I prefer it to the Dakira as a design, or that's aesthetics versus function.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Looks good underneath the relativity too.
Yeah.
They look like they could be
Yeah.
part of the same fleet, if I'm honest.
Just hundreds of years apart. Hey, maybe relativity was helped design by the Aquatics. Right? Sure.
Possibly.
Yeah. Damn. There you go.
All right, guys. I think we're gonna call it there, though. So
All right.
thank you to everyone watching. Tune in tomorrow night for my first reaction review,
Yes.
and Friday for a complete breakdown of the next Strange New Worlds episode.
I believe this is the Vulcan
Yes,
twist.
4.5 Vulcans is what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So join us for those things, and make sure you subscribe to the channel, click notification bell icon, and thank you all for watching. We appreciate you.
Yeah, and thanks for throwing some new ones. It's always good to, because we like the contrast, right? Although not a single one of the thumbnail made it through. Not a
That's
single
always the
one.
case.
Single
Sometimes
one.
there's one. Yeah.
Goodness. All right. Thanks for
All
watching.
right, guys.
You'll see you tomorrow.
Yes. And until then, he's Commander Cockings.
He's got a Foley.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.